Hello children, welcome to the class. In this video, we are going to learn Poem 7, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, and it was written by Maya Angelou. Now let's see about the poet. Okay, Maya Angelou was an American poet, singer, memoirist, and civil rights activist. She published 7 autobiographies, 3 books of essays, several books of poetry, and is credited with a list of plays, movies, and television shows spanning over 50 years. She received dozens of awards and more than 50 honorary degrees. Okay, this poem, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, was written in 1969 and it tells of her life up to the age of 17. It is this poem that brought her international acclaim and recognition. And in this poem, she has just distinguished the feelings of a free bird and a caged bird. The bird in the cage is a symbol of all African Americans and their fight for freedom. It symbolizes the struggle of being a black author whose words are not heard and of one who longs for freedom. Now let's see the stanza-wise explanation. Stanza 1. The free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends and dips his wings in the orange sun rays and dares to climb the sky. Here in this stanza, the poet explains about the free bird. Okay, the free bird was free. It was really free. There is nobody to control it, so it can fly wherever it wants. Where it can go wherever it wants, isn't it? And also, while it was flying, no, when it was flying during a sunset or sunrise, imagine how the sky will be. It will be in orange color, isn't it? So at that time, when we see a bird flying, it was like as if its wings has been dipped in that orange rays and it was flying. Here the poet is just giving this explanation just to make it clear how the free bird is enjoying the nature. And even though this free bird have the courage to climb that the sky it its own, because it is to that extent it was free, no restriction for it. See, the poem begins by referring to the flight of a free bird who springs free from the ground to fly in the direction of the air current. It looks as if the bird had immersed his wings in the orange rays of the sun covering the sky. The free bird flies as if the sky belonged to it. Now see stanza 2. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. Here in this stanza, the poet explains about a caged bird. Imagine if you are having a pet bird. Okay, how you will just keep the bird? You will keep the bird inside a cage and you will clip its wings and you will tie its feet because you never want the bird to escape, isn't it? Here the same condition. Now the bird in the cage, you cannot see anything beyond its bar. Okay, what it wants to see, it can see only the bar of the cage. Beyond that, it cannot see anything. And here the poet has given one line: his bars of rage. Rage means anger. Okay, it was very angry because beyond the bar it cannot see anything. Though these restrictions were there, okay, the bird's wings has been clipped, feet has been tied, it cannot see anything beyond the bar of the cage, but it has one freedom. What is that freedom? It can open its throat to sing. So see the explanation. The next stanza expounds the conditions of the caged bird who is constantly watching down his cage. He can almost never see through the bars. His vision is limited. He is enslaved. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied. Under such circumstances, only option he has is to open his throat to sing. Okay, can you understand this? Okay, now stanza 3. The caged bird sings with fearful trill of the things unknown, but long for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. Okay, now the caged bird, now it started singing, but while it was singing, it had a fear because it was longing for freedom, but it doesn't know what is freedom. Okay, when it was let out of the cage, it doesn't know how to fly, okay, how to protect itself from its enemies, nothing it doesn't know. So it has a little bit of fear, but in spite of that fear, it wants freedom. Okay, now the caged bird cannot come out of the cage, but its voice can be heard at a distance hill. Okay, so the bird started singing. The caged bird quavers. Quavers means, okay, a trembling voice. Okay, while singing of the things unknown. When you are fear, or when you are afraid, when you are afraid of something, no, when at that time, how your voice would be, it will be like a trembling, a shivering, isn't it? In the same condition now the bird was. He realizes his condition but still longs for freedom. The poet reveals that the bird's cry for freedom is heard at a faraway place. Now see the next stanza. The first stanza was about a free bird. The second stanza was about the condition of the caged bird. And the third stanza, how the caged bird sings. Again, the fourth stanza, the poet talks about the free bird. And again, okay, she makes it clear how free the bird was. Now, the bird was very free, isn't it? So it can fly to whatever place, isn't it? Now it was thinking about another breeze. Okay, it wants to enjoy to fly to by flying to some other place, and also it wants to enjoy the soft wind from the trees. And even the poet is giving a the notification that fat worms are waiting for the bird to be consumed. See, it is the food of a bird, isn't it? Maximum birds will eat only the worms. It is in the case of free bird, but when you take a caged bird, we won't feed it with worms. We'll feed it with the grains or some other food we have at home, isn't it? But here, the natural food of a bird is worms. Only a free bird can enjoy it. And also, it seems as if the name for the sky was given by this free bird. Okay, see, the stanza goes back to the unrestricted movement of the free bird. The free bird thinks of another breeze. The poet also mentions the fat worms that are waiting on a lawn at sunrise to be consumed by him. See how free the bird is. It doesn't have to work hard, isn't as it was free. When it's sunrise, automatically the food is available for it. The God is providing food for it. It appears as if the bird had named the sky his own, since there are no other birds to contest with him. Okay. Now in stanza 5, again, okay, the poet talks about the caged bird, but a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare stream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. But in the case of a caged bird, though it dreams of about freedom, it was like a grave dream. You know what's a grave? It's a place where the dead people are buried. Okay, if once you are buried in the grave, our dreams cannot be fulfilled. It cannot come into true or real, isn't it? Likewise, this caged bird dream was like a nightmare. Okay, but in spite of that, also the caged bird started singing of freedom. The fifth stanza depicts the bird in its cage, the cage that has now become the grave of the bird's dream. The poet describes the bird's cries as that of someone having a nightmare. Once again, the caged bird sings of freedom. Now see the last stanza. This stanza 6 is the same repetition of stanza 3. So this is a refrain. Why the poet has used this refrain is, though the bird knows that, okay, it doesn't know anything about freedom. Its wings has been clipped, its feet has been tied, but it has a strong determination that it wants freedom. But in this critical condition, okay, the only freedom left over for the bird is to sing. So the bird plans to make use of that freedom. So someday that freedom will let it free from the cage. Okay, so with that strong determination, okay, the caged bird started singing again about its dream about freedom. So through this, okay, the poet is expressing her feelings. Though now her voice has not been heard, she realizes that one day her voice will be heard throughout the world and her people will be relieved from captivity. Okay, so only she has given the topic, I know why the caged bird sings. Okay, this refrain recurring as a stanza justifies the bird's stout determination to keep going after his dream of freedom. Moreover, the caged bird chooses to sing as this is the only freedom available to him, that he can enjoy without any restriction. His wings are clipped, feet are tied, but his throat is not choked yet. It is something the poet have felt at heart, and that's why she uses the title, I know why the caged bird sings. Okay, here caged, okay, instead of ds is the, sorry, just excuse me, okay, just it is caged but not cages. Okay, now do you understand this poem? Okay, now let's see the literary devices. Alliteration, you know what is alliteration? In which a series of words begin with the same consonant sound. Okay, like where is sound, okay, you can read the poetic lines and you can find out the alliteration. Next, assonance. Assonance is nothing but the use of vowel sounds in quick succession. Okay, immediately it will come. For example, E sound, okay, in distant hills and distant hills. Okay, distant hills. E sound is there, no? So that is assonance. Likewise, consonance is nothing but repetitive sounds produced by consonants. Okay, like b sound in but a bird, but bird, b sound, no? That is consonants. Then imagery. Imagery is nothing but when you just read that line, it will, okay, you can feel it through your five senses. For example, when I say free bird, okay, you can imagine a bird flying freely. So it gives some imagination to your sight. Likewise, back of wind, okay? When I say gentle breeze or wind, you can feel it, isn't it? Like how a gentle breeze, okay? So it gives some image to your feeling. Likewise, okay, orange sun rays, when I say just imagine how it will be, okay, how the sky will be during the sunrise, how it will be fully filled with orange. So again, it was an imagery of sighting. And throat to sing, when I say sing itself, automatically your mind will imagine some song, some music, it will come into your mind. So it is a sense of hearing, okay? These are known as imagery. The next one is metaphor. Metaphor is implied simile. That is nothing but a comparison made without using as, like, and so. Here, there are two metaphors. Okay, the first metaphor is a free bird, that is for the white Americans or free people, while the caged bird is the metaphor of African Americans and their captivity in the social norms. Then the poet has used personification. Personification is nothing but taking a inanimate object, okay, like a tree or an animal, and considering it like a human and applying all the attributes and qualities of a human being to it. It is called as a personification. Here, shying trees. Shy, what's the feeling now when you are very tensed or worried, or when you are in sorrow, no, you will give a very long deep breath, isn't it? That is called sighing, okay? Here, whether a tree can give that feeling, no, but this shying was associated with the tree. So here the poet has considered a tree as a human being. So only it is a personification. Likewise, bird, the pronoun we use to represent a bird is it. But in this poem, the poet has used the pronoun his. So again, the bird is personified as a human being. So it is also an example of personification. Next is symbol. Throughout this poem, the poet has used many symbols to show racial discrimination and social construction against her community. Like, for example, the caged bird is a symbol of imprisonment, and his song, okay, the caged bird's song is a symbol of freedom. Likewise, many symbols have been used in this poem. Okay, children, I hope you all enjoyed and understood this poem, isn't it? Suppose if you have any doubts on this, okay, you can contact me and clarify your doubts. Thank you, children. We'll meet you in the next video.